You've been nice your entire life. You say yes when you want to say no. You avoid conflict at work even when you know you're right. You text back immediately because you don't want to seem rude. You accommodate everyone's schedule but your own. And where has it gotten you? Passed over for the promotion. Friend-zoned. Again. Exhausted from carrying other people's emotional baggage while your own life feels like it's on pause. Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. Being nice isn't a virtue. It's a survival strategy. And it's making you weak. Today, we're going to talk about what the actual Stoics, not the Jim Bro Instagram version, meant by becoming unshakable. Because Stoicism isn't about cold-hearted indifference or Sigma male posturing. It's about building something much more valuable, an inner fortress that nobody can breach. Let's talk about why you need to stop being nice and start being virtuous instead. If you spend any time online, you've seen the AI-generated version of Stoicism. Jacked Roman emperors with 8-pack abs, quotes about discipline, and not caring what others think slapped over moody black and white photographs. This version tells you to be hard, to not feel, to treat emotions like weaknesses that need to be crushed in the gym. But here's what that version gets catastrophically wrong. The ancient Stoics weren't trying to eliminate emotions. They were trying to perfect judgment. And there's a massive difference. You're in your 20s. You're working a job that probably isn't your dream career yet. You're single, maybe by choice, maybe not. You're trying to figure out who you are while everyone around you seems to have it together. The pressure to be nice in this context is overwhelming. Your boss expects you to be agreeable. Your co-workers expect you to cover shifts. Your family expects you to show up to every event. The women you're interested in expect you to be emotionally available, but also somehow confident and decisive, which apparently means reading their minds. So you try to be nice. You try to please everyone. And you end up pleasing no one, especially not yourself. The Stoics have a different path. But to understand it, we need to go back to the beginning, to the actual system they created. Because Stoicism isn't a collection of motivational quotes. It's a comprehensive philosophy with 3 interconnected parts. And most people never learn about 2 of them. The Stoics divided philosophy into 3 parts. They use an analogy. Imagine an orchard. Physics is the field, the soil, the roots, the fundamental nature reality. Logic is a fence, the protective barrier that keeps out bad reasoning and false impressions. Ethics is the fruit, the harvest, the practical wisdom you can actually eat and live by. Most modern Stoicism jumps straight to the fruit. Control what you can control. Focus on virtue. Great, but without the field and the fence, you don't know why these principles matter or how to actually apply them when your boss is screaming at you or you just got ghosted after a 3rd date. So let's talk about the weird stuff first. The Stoics believe the universe operates according to logos, divine reason, rational order. There's an active principle running through everything, organizing matter into coherent patterns. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is ancient superstition, consider what they're really saying. Reality has a structure. The universe isn't random chaos. There are patterns, causes, effects, and a rational order you can align yourself with. For you, this means the chaos you feel in your life, the sense that nothing makes sense, that's not actually true. There's an order. Your job has systems. Human relationships follow patterns. Your own psychology operates according to principles. The problem isn't that reality is chaotic. The problem is that you're not seeing the patterns yet. And that's where logic comes in. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, would demonstrate logic with a simple hand gesture. He'd extend his fingers. This represents an impression hitting your mind. Something happens. Your boss criticizes you. A woman doesn't text back. You see your paycheck. Then he'd curl his fingers slightly. This represents assent. You begin to accept the impression, to believe it means something. Then he'd make a fist. This represents grasping or real comprehension. You've got a firm grip on what's actually true about the situation. Finally, he'd wrap his other hand around the fist. This represents knowledge, infallible understanding that can't be shaken. Most people never get past the extended fingers. An impression hits them. My boss doesn't like me, and they immediately react as if it's absolute truth. They never question it. They never examine whether it's actually accurate. The nice guy does this constantly. Someone seems disappointed, he immediately assumes he's done something wrong and scrambles to fix it. A woman goes quiet for an hour, he panics and sends 3 follow-up texts. He never makes a fist. He never gets a grip on reality. Logic, in the Stoic sense, is about training yourself to examine your impressions before you accept them. It's the fence that protects your mind from false beliefs. And here's why this matters for becoming unshakable. If you can't distinguish between what's true and what's just your anxious interpretation, you'll be blown around by every social breeze. You'll be nice because you're reacting to imaginary threats. An unshakable man has made a fist. He's gripped reality firmly enough to stand his ground. Okay, so we've established the field. Reality has a rational structure. We've established the fence. You need to examine your impressions carefully. Now we get to the fruit. How should you actually live? The Stoics had a very specific answer, according to the 4 virtues. And they had a very specific ideal, the sage. Let's talk about the sage first, because this is where most people get Stoicism wrong. The Stoic sage is a hypothetical person of perfect wisdom, someone who never makes a mistake in judgment, someone whose emotions are always appropriate to reality, someone who always acts with complete virtue. The Stoics admitted this person probably doesn't exist. Even Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, considered himself a student, not a sage. So why talk about an impossible ideal? Because the sage is your North Star. When you're in the middle of a difficult situation, your co-worker takes credit for your work, or a woman tests your boundaries, or you're tempted to compromise your integrity for short-term gain, you ask yourself, what would the sage do? Not what would get me liked. Not what's easiest. Not what's nice. What would perfect wisdom and virtue choose in this moment? And that question changes everything. The path to becoming unshakable runs through 4 virtues. Not nice, not agreeable. Prudence is the ability to navigate complex situations with good judgment. It's seeing reality clearly and making the right choice based on what's actually happening, not your fears, not social pressure, not what's comfortable. At work, prudence means recognizing when your team player mentality is actually enabling incompetence. It means knowing when to speak up in a meeting, even if it's uncomfortable, because the project is headed in the wrong direction. In your personal life, prudence means seeing the difference between a woman who's genuinely interested but busy and one who's stringing you along. It means knowing when to walk away from a situation that's not serving you, even if everyone else thinks you're being difficult. The nice guy lacks prudence. He mistakes agreeableness for wisdom. He thinks avoiding conflict is the same as choosing peace. It's not. Sometimes conflict is the wise choice. Justice means giving everyone what they're due, including yourself. It's about right relationship with others and with your own values. At work, justice means advocating for fair compensation. It means holding your boundaries when someone tries to dump their responsibilities on you. It means treating colleagues with respect while also expecting respect in return. In relationships, justice means reciprocity. If you're always initiating, always planning, always accommodating, that's not justice. That's self-abandonment disguised as kindness. The nice guy violates justice constantly, not against others, but against himself. He gives endlessly and expects nothing in return, then wonders why he feels resentful and empty. Justice says, you deserve to be treated well, and it's not mean to expect it. Temperance is mastery over your impulses and appetites. It's the ability to delay gratification, to resist temptation, to stay disciplined even when your emotions are screaming at you to react. At work, temperance means not firing off an angry email when you're frustrated. It means not gossiping about your boss even when everyone else is. It means staying focused on your long-term career goals instead of seeking immediate validation. In dating, temperance means not texting her at 2 a.m. when you're feeling lonely. It means not trying to fix the relationship after a disagreement by immediately apologizing for things you're not actually sorry for. It means having the self-control to walk away from situationships that are destroying your peace. The nice guy lacks temperance, not in the obvious ways, but in his addiction to approval. He can't control his need to be liked. He'll compromise his values, his time, his self-respect for a crumb of validation. That's not self-control. That's enslavement. Courage is the willingness to face what's difficult, uncomfortable, or frightening in service of what's right. At work, courage means having the difficult conversation with your manager about your career growth. It means pushing back on unreasonable demands. It means quitting the job that's killing your soul, even without a perfect backup plan, because you've done the prudent calculation and know it's time. In relationships, courage means being honest about what you want. It means ending things clearly instead of doing the coward's fade. It means risking rejection by being authentic rather than molding yourself into what you think she wants. The nice guy thinks he's being kind, but he's really being cowardly. He avoids difficult conversations. He hints instead of speaking directly. He prioritizes comfort over truth. And everyone suffers for it, including him. All right, we've covered the system. Field, fence, fruit. Physics, logic, ethics. The sage as your North Star. The 4 virtues as your map. Now, let's talk about the single most practical Stoic principle. The dichotomy of control. And let's make this specific to your actual life. The Stoics divided everything in life into 2 categories. Things that are up to you, your choices, your judgments, your intentions, your character. Things that are not up to you, other people's opinions, your reputation, your health, external outcomes, what she decides, whether you get promoted. The unshakable man focuses his energy exclusively on what's up to him. The nice guy exhausts himself trying to control what isn't. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Whether your boss likes you, whether you get promoted this year, whether your coworker respects you, whether the company succeeds, the quality of your work, your professionalism, how you respond to criticism, whether you advocate for yourself, your integrity in difficult situations, whether you stay in a role that's not aligned with your values. The nice guy focuses on trying to make his boss like him. He works late hoping it'll be noticed. He takes on extra projects assuming it'll lead to recognition. He shapes his entire personality around being low maintenance and agreeable. Then he's devastated when someone else gets promoted. But I was so nice. I did everything they wanted. Yes, that's the problem. The unshakable man focuses on what's up to him. Doing excellent work, building valuable skills, communicating clearly about his career goals, and making strategic decisions about when to stay and when to leave. He doesn't need his boss to like him. He needs to respect himself. Whether she likes you, whether she texts back, whether she's attracted to you, whether she chooses you, what she thinks of you, how you show up, your honesty, your boundaries, whether you tolerate disrespect, how you respond to rejection, whether you stay in situations that don't serve you. The nice guy is obsessed with making her like him. He texts perfectly crafted messages. He's always available. He never disagrees. He morphs into whatever he thinks she wants. Then he's confused when she says, "You're really great, but I just don't feel that spark." Brother, there's no spark because you haven't shown her who you actually are. You've shown her a people-pleasing hologram. The unshakable man focuses on what's up to him. Being genuine, expressing his actual opinions, maintaining his standards, and walking away from relationships where there's no reciprocity. He doesn't need her to choose him. He needs to choose himself. Here's what most people miss about the dichotomy of control. It's not about not caring about external things. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots. It's about where you place your worth. If your worth depends on getting promoted, you'll compromise your integrity to get it. If your worth depends on her liking you, you'll abandon yourself to keep her interested. But if your worth is rooted in living according to virtue, prudence, justice, temperance, courage, then external outcomes become preferred, but not necessary. You'd like the promotion. You'd enjoy the relationship. But you don't need them to be okay. That's what makes you unshakable.